Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today. Welcome back to Fanboy Fridays. And today we're going to talk about something as it relates to LeBron James and the theme of his career. Unfortunately, this Friday, we're going to have to skip Fanboy Fridays one more time. Again, with me recovering from the flu, it still hurts to laugh right now. And, that's something that's impossible to read some of these comments from the fanboys without without laughing immediately. So we're going to give it one more week and we will be back to Fanboy Fridays. But anyway, you see the title of the video. And this title has come about because, as we all know, the Lakers have been trashed since the in-season tournament. And when LeBron James is suffering, we know what's coming next. We know the trade talks will start. We know they will be looking for somewhere to place the blame. We know that the coaches will start taking the heat, as we've been hearing about Darvin Ham. This is just par for the course with LeBron James. So having said that, when you look at LeBron James' career in its entirety, I must say that LeBron James must be the unluckiest NBA player we have ever had. He has to be. He has to be the unluckiest NBA player in history. Because this guy just cannot seem to get good teammates. He just cannot seem to get a good coach, no matter what he does. So, let's talk about this. And we're going to start by talking about Michael Jordan. You know, to me, you can look at the career of Michael Jordan two ways. You can look at it like the fanboys like to look at it and say, oh, well, he just had the greatest coach who happened to never won anything before he was with Michael Jordan, but he had the greatest coach and he had the greatest secondary player in Scottie Pippen, who averaged 7 points a game when he first got there. Michael Jordan just had all this great stuff surrounding him that helped him win. You can look at it that way, or you can look at it this way, to me, which is the more correct way of looking at it. And that is, Michael Jordan was so great that everything around him became great. And that was for a lot of reasons. It became great because I believe Michael Jordan's work ethic was contagious. You cannot help but see someone work that hard and feel the need to do better yourself. But on top of that, even more importantly, Michael Jordan held people accountable. He was not going to allow you to not work your best. And these are the things that propelled everything around Michael Jordan. These are the things that made Phil Jackson one of the greatest coaches because he had Michael Jordan. These are the things that allowed Scottie Pippen to become a top 50 player because he had Michael Jordan. These are the things that allowed Nike to become the biggest shoe company in the world as it pertains to basketball shoes, because they were representing Michael Jordan. These are the things that made everything in the 90s so great, whether you're talking about the Wheaties commercials, whether you're talking about Gatorade, whether you're talking about the Jordan cologne, whether you're talking about Space Jam, whether you're talking about anything associated with Michael Jordan became great because of Michael Jordan. And we've talked about this many times over, but somehow LeBron James is just the unluckiest NBA player we've ever seen. Somehow this guy just cannot get good teammates. Somehow this guy just cannot get a good coach. Somehow everything surrounded with this guy is just the worst of the worst of the worst. Now, you can look at it like the fanboys look at it and say, yeah, that's the case. LeBron James, he's just never had a good coach, and he's just never been surrounded by great players. Or you can be realistic about it and understand that LeBron James is the common denominator in all this tragedy. He is the common denominator. First of all, like I said in another video, this is the question you have to ask yourself. Why hasn't LeBron James turned a coach into a Hall of Fame coach? That's the question. Why hasn't LeBron James' greatness led to a coach being looked at as a Hall of Famer? Why hasn't LeBron James turned anywhere he's ever been into a dynasty? And no, fanboys, LeBron James is not the dynasty. You can't be the dynasty when you choose your circumstances. You can't be the dynasty when you say, oh, well, I'm going to go over here with the best players in the league and make it unfair for everybody else. And you know, you don't get to be a dynasty like that. If LeBron James wanted to consider himself a walking dynasty, that means everywhere he went, he should win immediately, regardless of who's there. But there has been no team that LeBron has went to where he immediately won. That's because LeBron James is not the dynasty. Another question. Why has LeBron James not taken an ordinary player like Scottie Pippen was and turned him into someone that everybody is talking about how great he is? Why hasn't LeBron James been able to do that? Why hasn't the pass first, makes his teammates better, best all-around player we've ever seen, why hasn't he been able to do that? Fanboys, we need an answer. Well, I think we all know why that is. That's because LeBron James has always been overrated. That is because LeBron James has never been as good as people try to make him out to be. LeBron James is a very talented player who is a trash leader. That's right. I said that. That's what I said. He's a trash leader. He wants to be liked by everybody, but he doesn't want to take accountability. And I'm going to say this too. Fanboys, sometimes when you run from accountability, when you run because you don't want to be associated with the losing, you also could be running away from the greatest possibility of winning as well. See, when you ran from Cleveland because you let everyone in the media tell you that you didn't have enough help and that it was just going to be impossible to do in Cleveland, and because you were a spoiled brat who has been coddled since you were in high school and never held accountable, because you ran from Cleveland, you also potentially ran from your greatest case to potentially become legitimately in the GOAT conversation. Had you stayed there and stuck it out. Had you stayed there and put in the hard work. But again, this is where we go back to LeBron and his true work ethic. Because he gets a lot of credit for working out. By the way, side note on this. This weekend, you know, I was, or not this weekend, but a few days ago, I was watching this guy who was like a fitness scientist. And he just so happened to critique LeBron James' trainer and his workout. And he actually said that a lot of the exercises that LeBron does, he gave the entire workout like a 3 out of 10. So again, you know, LeBron James keeping his body in shape and all this, highly overrated. LeBron James is naturally gifted to a certain extent, and that's really what it is. You know, besides the other thing that he's into, allegedly. But they overblow how much he works to stay in shape and all this. But at the end of the day, what he has never done is work on his skills as a basketball player. Again, this is what made Michael Jordan the greatest of the greatest, is that Michael Jordan not only is the best athlete we've seen in basketball, maybe with the exception of Wilt Chamberlain, but on top of having all of that athleticism, he felt the need to be technically sound as anyone who's ever played the game. His competitiveness made him work at the fundamentals to have them down to a T. This is what separates Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird from a person like LeBron James. LeBron James is more like Shaq. So yeah, LeBron James, his work ethic is overblown. So while everyone is complaining, and now, again, here we go, everyone is starting to complain about Darvin Ham, talking about what trades the Lakers need to make. Everyone needs to keep this in mind, that LeBron James has controlled his destiny every step of the way of his career. You gets no pass. For someone who has controlled his destiny every step of the way of his career, how are you guys have the audacity to open your mouth to talk about what this guy hasn't had in players and coaches when he has chosen it? But we know what it is. Typical fanboy delusion, buying into every narrative that ESPN sells you. Because it doesn't even make sense from a logical standpoint. And anyway, last but not least, I'm going to say this. I've said this before, I'm going to say this again. Take away any accolade, stat, championship that LeBron has. Take away all that. Just LeBron's antics alone should knock him out of the top 10. Again, you should not be able to be a flopper and be considered one of the greatest of all time. You should not be able to habitually lie about what you do on the court. Say you never played on super teams and say you don't know what flopping is and be considered one of the greatest competitors to ever play this game. That alone should knock you out. But anyway, this short video we gonna hold up here. But like I said, LeBron James, he must just be the unluckiest person on the planet. The unluckiest player on the planet to have played all these years and just never can seem to find the right combination. I'm gonna say this last thing. And another thing to that is, part of the reason is that LeBron James doesn't want to face any adversity. He doesn't want to face any adversity. Because the reality of it is you're going to have teammates who get injured. You're going to have teammates that don't pan out the way you thought they would. But the thing is you stick through it. It may take 2-3 years. It may take 4 or 5 years. But you stick through it and you continue to get better as a player yourself. That is how you truly become great, is by sticking through the adversity, which we all know is the opposite of what LeBron James has done his entire career. LeBron James runs at the first sign of adversity. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about what do you think about this whole talk about Darvin Ham starting to come up? What, you know, it's just par for the course with LeBron James. What do you think about the fact that LeBron James and his entire career just cannot seem to get the right combination of players and coaches? Is he just unlucky, or is this LeBron James is the common denominator in all this tragedy? And that's what I believe. LeBron James is the common denominator. LeBron James doesn't make great coaches. He doesn't make other players great. He's not a great leader. and his career has reflected that. His only reason that he has championships is because he was able to formulate his own teams and pick the best players. That is the only reason. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I will see you next time. All right.